probably single for like 4 years at a stretch. I've had different spells of it, but the one I'm talking about today is the 4 years. I think 2014, around July. Oh, and interestingly, I think that's when I met my husband in 2018. Yeah, so that's pretty much 4 years. So how did I learn to be happy while being single? Because that was active singleness. So I couldn't point out, oh, this is my boyfriend at any point in that 4 years. So yep, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hello beautiful people, my name is Jamila. I talk self-love, faith, and anything in between. If you like content like this, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Thank you very much. So today, how did I learn to love being single? So let me define my own single. Single was I didn't have a boyfriend. I don't think I was in a situationship, but no, I wasn't. So it was not like there was something I wasn't sure or certain of. Probably for a period of a month, 2 months, one thing happened like that, but I really, you can't call that anything really. So I really do not regard that as a relationship or anything. So from July 2014 to say July 2018 when I started dating. And in July 2014, I'm just telling you guys when it came to my consciousness that I had become single. In my mind, I think the last time was probably that I felt like I really knew I was still in a relationship was June of 2014, until he said to change July 2014, and like that. So yeah. So how did I manage to be happy within that period? Yeah, at first it was really difficult, especially with the type of with the way my previous relationship ended. It was really depressing. I knew that my mom even had to allow me go travel to another city. Yeah, then I was in Abuja. I had to move to Jos to spend a week with my friend. Yeah, so she accommodated me for that period. I'll cry, she'd encourage me, tell me this, tell me that. And then I remember she was one thing she kept telling me: don't rush into anything, let yourself heal. If you have to cry, let it out. Just make sure you're not rushing into anything. So I think I had that just lying at the back of my mind, that I just didn't want to rush anything. I need to be certain this is what I want, not what I think people would want from me, or say, oh, the time has come, you should date this person, or you stayed single for long. In fact, my plan, humanly speaking, I didn't think it was going to be that long that I would stay without a relationship. But yeah, it happened 4 years. So 2014 till the end of the year. I think the next year, the person now got married the next year. So those kind of things. And somebody, because okay, I really don't talk about this person, but I'm just trying to say, okay, how during that period I had to travel a lot because of that, just to get my mind in where it needed to be. And then my mom was really instrumental to making sure that, okay, I want you to be fine. Whatever you need to be fine, I want you to be fine. Because I think everyone knew how invested I was, how excited I was about that relationship then. So for me, that's how I started healing. I remember in the process, someone came, I think a friend, if someone posted my picture, and then some guy saw it and said he liked me and all that. And I remember, I was even getting excited. I can't remember the timeline for this, but I remember I was really getting excited about this person and all that. Then this person just did one thing. And I think the person that introduced us, I never told the person what really happened. I just changed. And I remember this person asked me to loan them some money. And I think that just took me back. I'm like, I didn't quarrel, I didn't say anything, I just kept quiet. I said no, I didn't have, and all that. The person now said, I think what now got it was, the person now said, okay, go and ask your friends for. And I'm like, oh, you don't have friends, it's me that will now go and ask my old friends. So those kind of things, that kind of thing just triggered that for me. So I was already certain of what I want, what I do not want, what I don't want to risk, regardless of that you think you're a fine boy or anything. If I didn't see us going anywhere, I didn't want to bother myself, I didn't want to bother you. So what I'm trying to say is that in that period of 4 years, I had people coming. I'm very intentional about the things I do. Now I do not see the future, but when I see somebody and I meet somebody, a couple of discussions, couple of meetings and all that, I should be able to know if I want to date this person or if I do not want to date this person. Not that I knew, again, as I said, it's not like I knew what was in the future, but so I kept turning down relationships because I knew this is not really what I want, except for one person that I met. I'd known this person a while back and it was looking like, okay, we're going to date and all that kind of stuff, but I was not getting the vibe. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home person. I love to stay at home. I spend my time at home, read books, go to church. So that's kind of person I am. But still, I am the girl that likes to gist. I like to play. I like to just have fun. Surely, if you're my partner, I wanted to gist with you. But I wasn't getting that vibe from that person. But somehow I was trying to say, okay, let this thing just work. You know, when you just try to make something work, let the person. So the person will call, like, person can call today. Person won't call till like 2-3 months later. And what are we talking about? We're talking about Nigeria. We're talking about like so very interesting things, but there was no talking about us. And I remember I was even telling God that please don't let this person ask me to marry him, because if he did at that time, probably because I was feeling a little pressured in my own mind and all that, I felt I would have said yes, you know. And I thank God for one thing. Okay, I think I'd even lost my mom. Yeah, I lost my mom then. Okay, so in that period, I was just praying to God, don't let this person ask me, because I knew there's this high chance of me saying yes, because this person was actually a nice person. I always tell myself he's going to be a great father, a great husband, but I don't think he's going to be my friend. And for me, friendship is very, very important. So yes, that was how my 4 years was going back and forth, back and forth. So how was I able to do this thing in joy and in happiness? Now, number one, I think the word is joy. Happiness is dependent on what happens, what doesn't happen, right? So I had at the back of my mind, okay, this is what I want. I knew I didn't want to just date anybody for dating sake. I was already intentional. So being intentional kind of helped me. So I didn't really feel like I was missing out or I was losing anything, not dating those who were coming around me. I was grateful that I had the attention. I was grateful that people could even say, oh, Jaglan, I saw you get all that kind of stuff. But I still knew that there was just something ahead. I didn't see it year one, I didn't see it year two, I didn't see it year three, I didn't see it until the 4th year before, oh, okay, this comes up and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I want to see this person the second time. And then it started going like that. But so in this period, I was just hoping and believing. And I know there's something my husband keeps saying, that there's nothing as good as hope. Like when you can just be hopeful, you know that something better is coming tomorrow. So that was just how it was for me, that I just kept believing that something was going to come, something good was going to come. So that's number one. Number two, I did not see it as a bad thing. Like sometimes I'll feel bad about it, but I did not actively think being single was a bad thing or being single is a bad thing. I did not see it in that light at all. So for me, because I didn't see it in a bad way, it wasn't like, oh, nadedamwa, or there's a big problem on my head. No, I didn't see it in that way at all. I just saw it as a phase in my life. In fact, I'll keep joking and say, thank God, I feel like I go home, because me, I can be very lazy, sharp. I'll be like, thank God, if I go home, I don't even feel like cooking out. I don't have to. I'm not really obliged to go and visit anybody. You know, those kind of things that single people enjoyed. Yeah, so I was always looking at the positives of being single. I didn't see it as a bad thing. So that's one of the ways, things that kind of helped me like go through this process or go through this period, being happy, being joyful. Thirdly, now this is in no particular order, I really was concentrating in church. I was going for my church programs. I was teaching. So I had defined spells. I was teaching in my teenage church then, and then I moved to teaching in my what did they call it, in a children's church. And then before then, I was doing my sanctuary keeping. So I really got myself preoccupied with the things of the Lord, which is what Paul said. So she got herself preoccupied. So I was really I got myself preoccupied with things of the Lord. So that kind of took me from that being unhappy state that I was still grateful and thankful to God. In fact, I keep looking at myself and be like, okay, you have certain things, God does this for you, God is this, God is that. So I was really pretty much very fine because of those things. And then thankfully again, the fourth thing, I had a job, like through that period. Okay, no, I think I got my job in 2015. So probably, yeah, but most of it was, we're talking about a 4-year period, but most of the 4-year period, I was working. So that kind of helped. I go to work. So before I know it, time has gone, other things, I'm sleeping. Me, I like to sleep a lot. So those were the kind of little things I was doing that God helped. And again, I'm just saying it from my own perspective. I don't know what you're going through and what state or where you are right now, but these are the little things I know I did that God kind of helped me and saw me through that period of wait or that period of singleness, if you may. So I really just enjoyed it. Like this, were there days I cried? Of course. In fact, let me just tell you guys something. There was this particular beautiful day, I think that was in 2000, I don't call it yet, they will know that they want, but 1 year like that, in the midst of this 4-year thing, one of my friends called me, I think earlier in the day, to tell me she was getting married. Oh, I was very excited, of course, I was happy and thankful for my friend, but again, you would always remember, me, I never get boyfriend, that kind of a thing. Then I remembered later that evening, another of my friends just calls me and tells me, oh, Jamie, I'm getting married. Then I'm like, of course I was happy, I'm going to be excited, jump and do everything at that point. But subsequently, I cried that night. I'm like, God, what happened? Let me even have a boyfriend. So I was like getting married. I know again, age was another thing. Consciously or unconsciously, it was there. Like you remember, okay, I'm getting older and older. But I think while I said getting much more older, 29, 30, towards the time I met my husband, I remember I kept telling myself and telling God, like, God, we cannot miss this thing. Like, we have stayed this long, we cannot miss it, So, yeah, so that's just pretty much how I survived that 4 years. I don't know, I don't really know if there was anything. I don't think I woke up with that intention of saying, okay, I'm going to spend 4 years without a relationship. So it was not a planned thing. I just knew, okay, these were the things I did, and these were the things that helped me remain happy, remain joyful till now. Do you understand? So I don't know how this would have helped you, but I hope it did. And if it did, please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and share. Somebody might need it to help them go through whatever it is they are going through, because I know what I know what it feels like to be single. Like, I know what it feels like when people keep asking you, Shizaki, away, when are you getting married? And I remember there was this guy that was always taunting me in my office. He'd be like, Jamila, I know you're the one saying no. I know we give man what? And I'm like, does this guy even understand what's going on? I'm not going to marry anybody. I'm not just going to date any young man because you are available or because I am available. There's an intent to this thing. So I think for me, and very importantly, is to have it at the back of our minds that it's just one person you're going to marry last. And even if you want to do, okay, I'll do marry and leave, come and come out, at every point, I think it is one person you're still going to be with. So why stress yourself? Why go through all this thing? And then, yeah, so please, take your time. Trust me, just take your time, enjoy it. I didn't know 4 years would pass like that, pew. So just take your time, enjoy it. When it's time, it's time. That one, you wouldn't even need to stress over it that much. Really, you would not have to. The thing will just line up for you the way God ordained it or the way God planned it for you. But at the end of the day, we all have roles to play. If I had decided earlier that because I was getting to 27, 28, 29, and 30, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And just say, okay, any uncle that comes around, we move with him. I don't think I'll be here. I believe I won't be here actually, but again, we don't know how long our wait is. Some people's wait is going to be 1 year, some 2, some 6 months, some 3 months. So we're just we're in different phases of our lives. So I just want to encourage you to please enjoy it. One beautiful day to come to an end, especially if that is what you want, and just keep believing God and praying. at the right time is going to send your partner your way, is going to send your husband or whatever it is your way. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and see you guys some other time.